Hi there, it's Shauna from Mommble. I hope everyone is having a very good week. We're celebrating a birthday here shortly. So we've got a happy birthday banner behind my head. If it's your birthday, happy birthday! Look at that, we decorated for you. Okay, so yin and yang. So I've been thinking about yin and yang, the concept, the image, for a long time. So most notably, I would say since becoming a mom. I think I probably thought about it a little bit before, but I just embodied it in a much, much different way since becoming a mom. I think one of the first times that I really noticed it was when going for coffee with a friend of mine. It wasn't very easy for us to get pregnant, my husband and I. And if you've ever experienced infertility, you know all of the emotions, the painful emotions that can come along with that. It sucks, basically. So I was going for coffee with a friend of mine, and she says that she has news, and she tells me that she's pregnant. And I mean, I was happy for her, but all of a sudden, I had a whole new concept of the feeling of bittersweet. That the sweetness of again truly being happy for her. I know that they had been having a hard time with getting pregnant. I was truly happy. She's a wonderful, beautiful person. At the same time, the bitter. I was sad. I was mad. I was bitter. I was jealous. I was so many different hard feelings, painful feelings, also ugly feelings. And that was one of the first times having that dichotomy of emotions slam together and hang out in my brain, in my heart, in my gut in the way that it had. And I think that is something that ends up characterizing so many things about motherhood. All of these swirls of emotions. And the thing about the yin and yang symbol is that in the dark there is that bit of light. In the light there is that bit of dark. The fact that all of this light and this dark, it all lives together in this ongoing swirl that never ends. And kind of our only hope is to know that we can weather it, because sometimes it is so hard. I mean, it's a beautiful thing. It's a wonderful thing. It's joyous. It's exhausting. It's frustrating. It's terrifying. All of these things end up swirling around all together. And I think it's one thing to find some solace in the darkness, finding some light. It's one thing finding that light and kind of hanging on to it. I have found lately, as I'm thinking about and dealing with things, in the lightness, recognizing some of the dark that's in the light is confusing, because with hard things or challenging things that happen, I know you expect to have dark feelings. So, such as when someone dies, you would expect to have hard feelings. But when something beautiful happens, having hard feelings in those moments, ugly feelings, unflattering feelings, it's really confusing. And it's really hard. It can be really hard to recognize. But it's there, it happens. And the more I try and reconcile that, hang out with it, sit with it, not bother trying to fight it, but trying instead to unpack it a bit, I find comfort there. And we see that on Mommble a lot. So, of course, oftentimes we're talking about so many things that often can bring a lot of light, babies and marriage and friendships and those sorts of things. And sometimes there can be very hard, difficult things within those things. So some of the subjects on Mommble, just scrolling through. So talking about depression in our male partners, I think we do talk about depression in motherhood. It doesn't come up quite as much in fatherhood. but it comes up in all families. We find with adoptions as well that it's not necessarily just the giving birth to a child or in bringing them into having them in your home, but just depression can strike us all in all different circumstances. Also in dealing with friendships and one-upmanship, with labor, whether or not we're going into labor or not, coming into a crossroads with our marriage, co-sleeping, whether or not that is, feel like talking about all the emotions and some of the hard things. There ends up being a lot of guilt around that as well. Co-sleeping when it doesn't work, even though that's what's recommended. That can be really tough. Waking up our littles in the night. Lots of different subjects as always covered. So please come over to Mommble and share your expertise, and or even if you don't want to share your expertise, maybe you'll find some comfort in hearing other people's truths. So I hope you've had a wonderful week. I hope you're having a good day. I hope you're feeling supported today. And as always, thank you so much for erring on the side of empathy, curiosity, and compassion. And I wish you a truly lovely weekend. Bye.